gotta do this. I gotta do this. Oh my god. Holy cow. Let's see. Shoot, how does it even start? Something about now. Hey, there's a vampire and an ump, and what they do each week is they review movies. This week's movies are Remember the Titans, not Return of the Titans. Remember the Titans 2000 and Paranormal Activity 2007, starring Denzel Washington, a couple ghosts, a kid, and I don't even know. Now two guys who are awesome. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller. You know what? I totally forgot to write that.
Oh my God.
And you would think...
you know what? Trogdor had the perfect line there for it.
What?
Look.
But he knows the length of the movie, though. I bet I do.
You only had a few months to write that one.
I know.
What is wrong with you, Jeff?
Tim, that's the first time that's happened.
What happened?
It's too many weeks off.
Jeez.
Too many weeks off. So...
Jeff.
Wow.
Okay, the name of the show... Because the intro was so good.
I'm so
embarrassed. The name of the show is Dead on the Bases. I'm the vamp. He's the ump. And I give him, out of the goodness of my heart, I give him a wonderful, wholesome horror movie to watch. And then Jeff, he gives me some terrible, non-family friendly, drug-addled sports movie to watch each and every week. Now, Jeff is known as the ump, but he's also known as the actual originator of the designated hitter rule in the major leagues. He suggested it one day to the commissioner at the time, stating that pitchers can't hit anyway.
That's very timely, Tim, because pitchers and catchers have reported to spring training as of today.
I knew that, and I was leading you toward it.
Look at that. Look at how we work together, like Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, Bert and Ernie.
Three Stooges, except there's only two, and you're all three of the Stooges.
but you know what though? I should have known because get this. I usually have my notebook in front of me to read it, but I didn't even write one. one. And I had so many good two guys. I had so many good ones, and I couldn't even think of them.
No. What you had sounded like you just made it up on the spot.
I did. Oh, but Denzel Washington really is in Remember the Titans.
He is, so you got that right.
Yep, and then there's a bunch of ghosts in the other one, so I got that right. But
we need to retrain Jeff, is said in here.
Yeah.
And then Bearded Beauty replied with retrain or restrain him.
I can't believe I did that. Of all these episodes that we've had, this is season 9.
Season 9, inning 7.
So 8 times 9 is 72.
Do math. This will be good. Okay, the movie I gave him was Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
And Jeff gave me Remember the Titans.
Not Return of, Remember.
Okay, that's what I thought. I actually don't like the title. I don't like the title. Because
we're off to a streaming start here. Great.
Why don't we get things going right now?
Can I welcome a few people that are in here today? So, Tiffany Shepis, welcome.
You always make stuff up.
Felissa Rose, welcome. Tiffany Shepis. Michael Veritali, he's their producer for Casualty Friday. Welcome to you as well. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Okay.
They probably really enjoyed the opening remarks.
Come back.
More than anything
Come back
else.
the one after Horror Realm. I'll have it polished. I cannot.
Polished.
Tim, wait. We got to spend 10 more seconds on this.
Okay.
I know
we didn't talk enough about Jeff in recent.
It's not that big of a deal, but it's just, oh my God, I cannot believe I don't have that many things to do on this show. I totally biffed that.
You are saying
my gosh.
From your mouth to God's ear. You don't have much to do here.
All right.
Hey, everybody, and I am going to be trying to remember the Titans because I watched this like 4 days ago, and honestly,
oh God, here we go.
You know, I went into this movie because of the word Titans in there. I went into this movie waiting for them to say release the Kraken the whole time, and I came away very disappointed.
Did you ever see that movie with the Kraken in it? With
maybe
hold the thing up.
Yeah,
I did.
I actually had the entire collection of action figures of the original Remember the Clash of the Titans.
Who's that guy that Was that Daniel Day-Lewis? Who's the guy who holds that thing up?
Harry Hamlin. No, it wasn't Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis was not in Clash of the Titans.
He's not the one who holds up Medusa's head?
That's Harry Hamlin.
Okay.
Who often, many people go, is that Harry Hamlin or Daniel Day-Lewis? That happens all the time.
It's because of the syllable.
My left foot, a lot of people say, that looks a lot like Harry Hamlin acting right there.
Tim, it's all about syllables for me.
This would be like confusing Bob Uecker and Hank Aaron. That's the levels we're talking about here.
I don't think so.
Somebody that's about the best actor ever with a guy that could barely hold down a job on LA Law.
Wait, which one?
Harry Hamlin was on Clash of the Titans and LA Law. All right, let's keep going. This movie sets itself up immediately in the first few minutes. It's set up as a period place in the early 70s, and they were going to be directly addressing race relations through most of the movie. I mean, they basically tell you that right at the beginning. Now, the consistency of the time period, it gets the cars right, it gets the clothes right, but the attitudes seemed off to me. They had a moment where they show some young people playing street hoops, and he had like that hair comb thing stuck in his hair. And I don't think that was a thing yet back in 1970. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But one thing I can tell you was big in 1970. You know what was big in 1970 with African Americans?
Mountain Dew?
Afros.
Okay.
Afros. There's like, I don't even know if I saw an afro in the entire movie.
But wait a second. Didn't afros come out like in the late 70s? This is right after the
afros were big. Okay. Afros were big.
Literally.
Yes. So I kind of was like, what the heck? But I think the problem is I lived through some of these days. Now, yes, I was extremely young at this point, but I watch a lot of movies from the early 70s, and it didn't really look like that. And there were a couple turns of phrase that they said that I'm like, no, that's more like late 90s and 1970s. But that's a quibble. That's a quibble. Good. Unlike Rudy, I was able to enjoy the main characters in this film because Boone is an asshole. Boone's demanding, and that is the character that Denzel Washington plays. No, that's the correct term for him. He is.
But you can't say
But you kind of... sure I can. I just said it. Boone is an asshole. You did understand where he was coming from, so he didn't come off as completely cruel, but he was tough on his players, etc., to the point where it didn't make sense sometimes, but... it was what it was. Now, Will Patton is the guy that played the white coach that was with him. He had a very difficult character to play where he didn't know entirely what his line reading was, because on the one side he's a little bit racist, but then yet he's a friend, and I think that works for this movie because I think he was trying to figure out what he thought about this whole situation. To me, though, you're raising your hand.
Why don't I interrupt?
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, do you remember Will Patton in No Way Out?
Yeah.
That's all I can
I like Will Patton. I think he's a very good actor.
I get that, but
I've seen him in a lot of stuff.
All I ever see him in, I saw him as the guy from No Way Out in this movie. Just so you, I'm just trying to add to this.
He's excellent in, I think, like even in No Way Out, he plays a similar character where he's an authority character that knows he shouldn't ask questions, but asks questions. You know, that type of character. Now, personally, I think the standout character was played by Hayden Panettiere, who went on to be the cheerleader in Heroes and one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Nashville. She was playing the football-obsessed daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Who was also the narrator, which seemed like an odd choice because she couldn't possibly have known everything that the story showed. So I was kind of like, why did we need that narrator anyway? Because she wasn't giving us any information we didn't already know. Oh my God, he's raising his hand again.
It's pertinent. So I just want people to know that if you go to IMDb and you look up these actors and actresses, you're going to see Hayden Panettiere. She's going to look older. So it kind of throws you off. If you didn't know she was the kid, you'd be like, where was she in the movie?
Well, Hayden Panettiere has had a very good TV.
I feel like IMDb should put her age that she was in the movie in the thing.
Why don't you write him a letter?
I will.
We'll wait. Okay.
Dear...
her behavior in this movie is very stereotypical child behavior, but I see a lot of what she was doing are things that I see Uber fans do from time to time.
Me? Whatever.
Getting very obsessed, very angry about what's going on screen. I actually was picturing after I watched this the night before Super Bowl, in fact.
Oh, sure.
And when we were at the Super Bowl, I was picturing her as a Chiefs fan because of the pacing back and forth. Like, what are they doing? And all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's a fan. Her emotions really tried to draw her into a sport that I think we can all agree is incredibly boring and not all that interesting.
Football?
So,
wait.
Now this movie,
why?
What?
Why do you find that not interesting and boring?
Because it is. At what point does somebody get into the turnbuckles?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
This movie is not heavy on the sports action, which is a huge plus for me because it is such an incredibly boring sport.
Oh my God.
But if you're looking for a sports movie, you're probably coming to the wrong place. This is not a sports movie that's heavy on sports action. I kept watching this and thinking of a show that was almost at the same time this one was set in. Do you know what show I'm thinking of?
Good Times?
No, there was a TV show.
About
it was
football?
About a sport,
Give me a
not
second.
football.
Give me a second. About the early 70s?
And
I know. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. White Shadow.
Yep. I thought they basically
I get a point for
took
that.
this story and used basketball and made the White Shadow. And it actually, there are points where you think of the White Shadow, like it's throwing the bricks through the window. They have a scene where the team sings a pop song of the day together. They sing "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" in this one. White Shadow, everybody remembers the promos were them singing "My Girl" in the shower. That was just like the famous promo for White Shadow. So I was like, yeah, I think whoever wrote this script or did this movie, I think they definitely were familiar with White Shadow and what worked and what didn't work.
But this is a true story, though.
I don't know if White Shadow was a true story.
No, I didn't say it was. I said Remember the Titans was.
Yeah, but who cares?
Okay.
They changed plenty of things. I mean,
There's a lot changed.
They got rid of like some of the daughters or something I had heard.
That's fine.
So
a real toilet got thrown through that guy's house, though, just so you guys know.
A what?
The toilet that got thrown into the guy's house.
What is that called? A number 2?
A real one in real life. That's what really happened.
They threw a toilet through
the window.
How far can you throw a toilet, Jeff?
I bet you I could throw it 30 yards.
30 yards.
No,
30 yards, ladies and gentlemen.
30 feet.
Come on out to Horror Realm. We're going to have a toilet
30
throwing
feet.
contest.
30 feet. 30 feet.
Oh, 30 feet. Okay, that's a little different.
Yeah, it is.
That's a little
or
different.
Who knows? They could have went up to the window, tossed it in there, and left.
That's kind of how I use a toilet. All right.
Go ahead.
Now, the racial tensions are handled kind of simplistically. It's like the main relationship between Wood Harris and Ryan Hurst's characters in this movie.
Yep.
It's like they hate each other and then they're okay.
They love each other.
They're okay. And they become best friends. I understand why they had to do that for the story, but it felt disingenuous. I'm sure that's not how it happened. Now, throughout this movie, something I often say with these sports movies, the middle was a bit saggy. It's like, when are we going to do something interesting again? You know, I always watch the time on the film, and do you know how long I was into the movie before the first murder?
All the way through it, Tim.
Yeah. There's no violent murders.
You're not supposed to get murders in your show.
There were no violent murders in the entire movie. What's up with that?
So,
are they even trying to keep people's interest?
So part of this movie that I don't know if you got into this or not, but that integration didn't happen like it did in the movie. Those two schools were actually integrated.
What a shock.
They were integrated for a couple of years before all this had happened.
Yeah.
And
not surprisingly.
And
right?
also, like I gotta look at this because I don't remember their names. I know that's rarity, but
or how long the movie was, because you gave me a ridiculously long movie again.
Hour 53.
Hour 53.
A sports movie should be long. Okay, so Ryan Hurst, the guy who plays Gary Bitter.
Yeah.
And then, so in the movie, I'm gonna just give this out because it's not my trivia, and you didn't bring it up. So the real Gary Bitter, he didn't get hurt until after the championship game. So he actually played in the championship game. In the movie, he doesn't play in the championship game because he gets into that car wreck. But no, it's not.
That's a damn big spoiler.
Okay, here's the thing.
Are you kidding me?
Here's the thing about spoilers.
Are you kidding me?
That's not a spoiler.
Total spoiler.
He doesn't die. So but he dies later in the movie, and then
now you've spoiled every single thing.
No,
you have spoiled the entire movie.
I wanted to explain to people what spoiler means. A spoiler doesn't mean you spoil the movie. I can tell you that the last letter of the alphabet is Z, but how do you get from A to Z? So I can tell you all the movie.
This? Who are you?
I thought this myself. Honest to God, I was sitting in the sauna the other day.
ChatGPT says.
I swear on my friendship with you, Tim, on anything, that I was sitting in the sauna. I'm thinking about. I always get busted for spoilers, but think about it. If you think
you give away. The term spoiler is when you give away the end of a movie. But you literally gave away the two big twists.
But you don't know how they get there. You don't know how they get there.
I agreed. You didn't explain. You didn't give them a copy of the script. Congratulations, Jeff.
But they don't know how he got there. Maybe he died of syphilis. They don't know. Maybe he died of.
Probably did.
Maybe he died.
He probably wanted to.
Maybe he killed himself.
I know I wanted to die halfway through the movie.
You did not.
Okay.
But just so you people know, don't get down on yourself if someone says that you spoiled the movie because you really didn't. People? A to Z, you don't know how you got to Z. You had to get through M, didn't you?
It's time for the horror movie connection, everybody. Yeah. This is where we take a look.
That's old
what?
News. You put council up there again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever. Yeah, pictures and
All
captions.
right, so let's talk about some of these stars. Of course, the main star of the film is Dangerous. Denzel Washington.
DW.
He did make a horror film. It's actually a really, really good one. And you may get it one of these
What's it called?
times. It's called Fallen. And I'm not going to give you the thing because I'm not going to spoil the
Fallen. It sounds like a guy who's like walking and he can't stand up.
It's called Fallen, and it's a really good one. He also was in The Bone Collector, which is a little Silence of the Lammy kind of thing. So he has officially one horror film, I think perhaps two. He's got 62 credits to his name, so that makes for a 1.6.
I thought Bone Collector was an X-rated movie.
No, it is close. Will Patton has 117 credits. He has twice as many movies as Denzel Washington.
That's amazing.
He famously he's a major part of the new Halloween trilogy recently.
Really?
He was in Forever Purge. He was in the 1994 The Puppet Masters with Donald Sutherland. it's interesting. Instead of doing horror movies at the beginning of his career, he's doing them near the end, it seems. Well, I don't know how close he is to the end, but he's getting to be older. Because most people, when they're young, it's earlier in their career.
To get a start.
And they get older later.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, I have to explain some of this stuff.
No, you don't. Yeah, A to Z.
Okay.
Let's explain it.
So, then we have Woody Harris. This looks nothing like he does in the movie. Remember, he was younger then.
Is he in relation to
I
Woody
need
Harrelson?
to explain these things because he had such trouble with Hayden Panettiere.
Is he any relation to Woody Harrelson?
He is not. How wonderful that you would come up with that. He was in...
You never know.
He's got exactly the same amount of credits as Denzel Washington, but not quite the same regard. And he has one 2003 Twilight Zone episode. So he in essence, he's a big time loser. That's then harsh. We're gonna go.
That's harsh.
It's his fault. He didn't pick good movies. Ryan Hurst.
I got a beard.
He did perform in Bates Motel a few times and Walking Dead episodes. 51 total credits. 3 of them are horror. Yes, you're raising your hand again.
Bates Motel, wasn't that just one singular movie?
It was a TV series. Okay. So he was in a couple episodes.
Fair enough.
So we're counting it as 1 credit.
Nope, fair enough.
For those of you that are following the math. Now, Donald Faison, you probably best know him from Scrubs.
Oh, yeah.
He had 1 horror credit called Little Evil. I've never seen it. I don't know if it's a hard horror movie or a comedy or something. But he does have officially 1 credit, which puts him at a pretty close to exact 1%. One out of 100.
I'm not a fan of his.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not.
He's heartbroken. He called me up.
I'm not a fan of this dude either.
Ethan Suplee, probably best known for being in My Name is Earl, in my opinion.
Yep.
He has 88 credits. He's made a total of 7 horror credits in there, TV mostly, that he was doing. I actually do like him quite a bit, particularly from My Name is Earl.
You know who he looks like? Tom Weber.
Well, that's his forehead.
I didn't say that, Tom.
Well, I did.
I didn't.
Hayden Panettiere. She's best known as the cheerleader from Heroes, as we said earlier. She was the co-lead on Nashville.
That's where I saw her, on Nashville.
Wow. Oh, God. She was so good in that show.
I saw her
That was a great show. She was in Scream 4 and 6.
I saw her in that, too.
It's hard to keep track of all those Screams, but she was in there. So she has a total of a 6.3 percentage, 63 total credits. 4 of them horror.
I like it.
And then, of course, we have Kate Bosworth. She played the girlfriend that was kind of hot and cold. She actually has, with him.
I know.
She has our highest percentage in the entire bunch. 13%, 53 total credits, 7 of which are horror. You're going to see her in the movie Barbarian when I give that to you next season. She has been in an average of 1 horror movie almost every year since 2012. It's like that's her thing. She makes these movies.
I get an Aaron Eleniak look from her. I mean, I get a vibe. You know,
Eleniak, yeah.
Eleniak, yeah, whatever. But I get a vibe.
Kind of a Baywatch look to her.
Yeah. Is she going to be in Baywatch too?
I did not check if she's ever been in Baywatch.
Well, no, she wasn't in Baywatch, but I thought maybe Baywatch 2, the movie.
They're making a Baywatch 2?
Return to the Beach.
With The Rock and all that?
Yep. No, I just made that up.
I'm about to say it. Preposterous.
I got to be that good into my trivia tonight.
That movie made no money.
I got to be that good in my trivia tonight. Let's
go.
Yes,
you do. Uh-oh. We know what
spot.
time it is.
Hey,
it's the Pauly Shore connection up
I see.
There. Okay. Denzel Washington in Training Day was with Terry Crews, who was in the movie Sandy Wexler. This is one of those Adam Sandler movies that he's been making over on Netflix, and Pauly Shore shows up in that movie we've been connecting a lot of Pauly Shore connections through that movie.
Does and I'm being serious. Tell me how this works. But do you consider made for Netflix movies like real movies?
Well, I always thought TV movies were movies.
Okay.
And it's basically, and it's like a direct-to-video movie. It's just what we do now. So,
all right.
I consider them movies. Do I consider them large releases? No. I consider them smaller releases.
Can I just ask one more question?
You didn't raise your hand this time. Thank you.
All right. So, do you notice, and this is a little bit off topic. I don't like to do that, but it's a little bit off topic. So, do you see, Tim, when movies come out now and it's on TV and they're like, it'll be in theaters only on July 11th. And then it's on after that. Why are they doing that? Because I saw the movie Plane. I think it was Plane or something with the dude.
Which guy. That's right now on Roku and Tubi.
Right. The guy that was in, you're right. He's right on that, but I don't know. But
I'm always right.
But here's the thing. When my wife and I went and saw that, they said it's only in the movies this day. So we went on that day to watch it, and then all of a sudden it's in every other day. Why do they do that, Tim? They never used to do that.
I did get called out in the chat room. As you know, I like to let the chat room call me out. I forgot to say for Ethan Suppley that he was in Mallrats.
Who's Ethan Suppley?
That is the fat dude.
I don't know.
In the movie, there's a fat guy. His name's Ethan Suppley.
Did you show his picture?
Yeah. You said he looked like Tom Weber.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Because you were being mean.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
And then, of course, our last one, Kate Bosworth, actually has been in a sports movie. I got called out on that.
Blue Crush.
Yeah.
I let you have that. I knew that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a sweetie. All right, it's time to do the grade before everybody falls asleep because of this little sleepy time thing.
Whatever.
What do you think I should give this movie? I know not much.
It's rated as one of the top sports movies of all time. You should have given it, but here's the thing.
So bad.
But here's the thing, Tim. I never know where you're coming from on this, but there was no murder in that.
There was no murder.
But you know what?
There was a crippling. Since you gave that away as a spoiler.
You know what? You can step past that, I think, and I think you appreciate movies. I'm gonna say you could give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm actually giving it an 8. I was totally messing with you the whole time. It is an excellent movie.
That's what I do, folks.
But it is a crushing bore.
I do it, folks.
Yeah.
I bring excellent movies to the table.
It's a crushing bore. But that's what it is. And when it comes to being a crushing bore, it's very good at that. Now, before we go to the break.
I have my sports.
Okay, get that out because that's what's coming up next. In the break, we have sports time.
What was that noise?
That was me. I hit a button too. I'm sorry that you are offended by that.
No, I'm never offended.
You're offended.
When you brought up about the return of the Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
And you said about the Kraken.
Yeah.
Folks, that's what I'm drinking tonight. I'm drinking Kraken rum.
Okay. Great.
Brought to you by Kraken rum.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm always ready, Tim. Born ready.
I'll count you down. 3, 2.
Hey, I'm Jeff Miller, and this is Today in Sports History, February 13th. On this date, in 1920, the Negro National League was formed in Kansas City. On this date in 1923, the first black professional basketball team, the Renaissance, organizes. In 1928, Klaas Thornburg wins his 4th gold medal of the St. Moritz Winter Games, 1928. In 1954, on September 13th, but no, we're in February, so February 13th, 1954, Frank Selvey scores 100 points in a college game where Furman beats Newberry 149-95. So take away those 100 points, it would have been 49-95. In 1976, 19-year-old Dorothy Hamill with the Hamill Camel hairdo wins the women's figure skating gold medal in Innsbruck. In 1977, Dr. J, Julius Erving, is named the MVP of the NBA All-Star Game held here in Milwaukee at the Mecca Arena. On that same very day, Eric Heiden becomes the first American to win the World Speed Skating Championship. I'm reading words that aren't even here. In 1990, Larry Bird's NBA free throw streak ends at 71 games. And in 2022 why do I want to say September? On this date, February 13th, 2022, Super Bowl LV1 is won by the Los Angeles Rams over the Cincinnati Bengals, 23-20. I'm Jeff Miller. Today is February 13th, not September 13th. And today, that's your day in sports history. Thank you.
That was amazing. So, do you know, by the way, how Dorothy Hamill got that nickname?
I love First Madness.
I like to tell you facts because they help
Make
you
some
out.
merch money.
It is time to make some merch money,
Wait
baby.
till Horror Realm, people.
Yeah.
We will return you to the regularly scheduled program in just a moment. But first,
Let's make some merch money.
Dead on the Bases has You heard us right. You heard us develop the product online. You saw how the elements came together. You heard it all become the juggernaut of awesome you know today. We have Dead on the Bases merch. Get this high-quality, durable garment at our store or a fine partner location. Get our classic and classy tees that really shine, worn out on their own, paired with some chinos or a pair of jeans. This is for sure your new favorite tee, and it's also your significant other's new favorite tee. Made with a super soft blend of ring-spun cotton and polyester to help the shirt keep its shape, as it will soon be the shirt you wear for all occasions. And what else do we have coming in the line?
I'm thinking about getting coasters, and I'm thinking about getting tumblers, like Yetis. I don't know, man. I think we got a market going. I don't know.
As always, Jeff, you are so right. Get this fabulous product now at a location near you. Dead on the Bases, when you care,
Dead Owl.
and when you are.
Open it up, Muskego style.
I wonder how many of those are still around. I know our local one is dead. Dead out.
I wonder, you know what? If there's a dead owl on the way out to Pittsburgh, we should stop.
No.
We should see if they're selling our merch.
No.
You knew who's going to be selling our merch soon. Dark Side Comics.
Yeah, it's Dark Side Collectibles.
Same thing. It starts with a C.
Okay. He doesn't sell comics. All right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that
It's not-
that was explained
Ah.
too. Yeah.
Tim, I'm sorry. It's Dark Side Collectibles.
We're all sorry. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, you
We're
sound
going to
like-
be going out to Horror Realm. Horror Realm time.
I'm going to get you.
And that ain't far away anymore.
It's less than like a... No.
It is like Johnny No time. Why didn't that go?
Johnny, no. What's that?
Here we go. There we go.
13 days.
13 days. Isn't that amazing?
We should
The
stay
only
on...
thing more significant than that is 3 days. And you know why.
No.
Things that are only 3 days.
No.
The rest of my career.
Oh,
Okay.
But we should stay on the air until it's 21-21-21.
Reminder, everybody, the film room is on. The entire schedule is at the website. And we want to remind everybody of the great guests that will be on throughout the weekend. And you and I are going to be doing quite a few of the panels, along with Mike Exler of Otherworldly Culture. We have almost all of them. So if you come out on Friday, you have 2 of these.
I do.
You have Thanksgiving at 6 p.m.
Yep.
7 o'clock is Mike Exler with Michael Berryman. At 8 p.m., it's Evil Dead 2 with Cassie DePavia
Yep, exactly.
and Sarah Berry.
Good job with the voice. With the names.
Thank you. At 8:30, we have Robert Rustler, one of the big 1980s bad boys.
Who's doing that one?
That one, I believe, is Mike Exler as well. Thanks for asking me what I didn't have.
I just watched Thanksgiving, and it gave me a very much of a Scream. I know what you did last summer vibe.
Yeah. And of course, we want to remind people on Friday at 10:30 it's karaoke. But everybody's been talking and asking us questions about what is that panel you don't know.
What is it?
I don't know. But it is Otherworldly Culture, and we hope we see you all there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Who's the panelist?
You don't know.
Oh, so then we should go.
You don't know.
We should go.
Yeah.
All right.
We should go.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we should go there. All right. Then on Saturday, look at all these panels.
Oh, my God.
At 11 a.m., I'm going to be doing the Return of the Living Dead with 2 cast members. Saturday at 12 noon, Mike Exler is going to talk to Allison Court. Nick Namath is at 1 p.m., and he, of course, wrestled under name Dolph Ziggler in WWE.
Sure.
That's an actual sport, Jeff. At 2 p.m., I have the Terrifier. We have the 2 leads from Terrifier 2 and the Clown Cafe lady, Leah. So that's at 2 p.m. At 3 p.m., Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think I assigned that to you, didn't I?
No,
yeah, you hate it. You were so scared.
Oh, yeah, you signed it to me. I know.
You were so scared.
I wasn't scared. I was
totally scared.
It was totally
and 4 p.m. that day, and the Exlers got that one. I will be interviewing the women in horror, which includes Barbara Crampton, Tiffany Shepis, Diane Prince from
Darcy.
From the
Tim's
Drive-In. Yeah, right.
Tom's Drive-In, something like that, right?
And Lisa Schrag from Prom Night 2, Hello, Mary Lou. So that's at 4 p.m. I'm very excited about that one. And at 5 p.m., Tom Morga, who, among other things, is one of the few actors that has portrayed both Jason and Michael Myers. He's a stuntman and a very tough guy, and Mike Exler is going to be interviewing him. Of course, there's photo ops with a lot of these guests as well. On Saturday, there are some great events. There's the horror match game at 6 p.m., which I will somehow get roped into yet again. The BAM movie bingo at 8 p.m. and at 9 p.m. Susie will be leading the way on this, that we are going to have a horror prom party. That's all pretty exciting. So you're raising your hand again.
So, you know those photo ops?
Yeah.
Are people taking pictures with us too?
Yeah, sure, Jeff.
So we have a time slot that they're going to come by and take pictures?
Sure.
Cool.
We'll tell you when it is, and we'll expect you to be there.
All right.
So that's something that'll excite.
And that
everybody.
prom thing, is that what are we promoting people dressing up for that?
Some people are going to dress up for that. I very much like my own prom.
Go ahead.
I'm going to just skip it.
See, and I was going to say, just like my own prom, I'm going to show up as the Invisible Man because I wasn't there.
All right. Hey, Jeffy, it's time for you to talk about the great movie that I gave you after you stunk me up. So what horrible thing are you going to give me next week is the real question, after I give you yet another quality film for you to review.
Here's how we go down Paranormal Activity lane. So this movie, Paranormal Activity, it came out in 2007. It's an hour and 26 minutes long.
There we go. We got the length.
That's what she said. And it's rated R. R for repulsively something. I don't know. Anyways, it's R rated. It's an hour and 26 minutes long. This movie. Okay, so this is how I feel about this movie without telling you how I feel until I'm supposed to, because I don't want to give you that crushing. Maybe
Lord knows.
Maybe glamorous.
I'm very concerned
blow
how you feel.
Either way, so it's either going to be great or it's going to be crushing. So anyway, wait, when did? Okay, maybe you can help me out. I should look this up.
I don't think I can help you.
No, you can. When did Blair Witch come out?
In
earlier in this.
It was prior to Paranormal.
Okay, so I did see Blair Witch Project. I did, And that
Chat room, when did Blair Witch Project come out? Go ahead.
Okay, so and I saw that, and that was okay. I get what they did there. I get that because I actually thought it was real stuff until I found out it wasn't. This plays a lot like that because it's all hand. It's like someone has a what's it called, video recorder, and they're videoing all this stuff, and
it's not like somebody. Yeah,
I
that's
know,
the
but,
whole
but
thing.
I know, but that's what. So part of it's nausea because they're bouncing around with this camera. It's not even like stable or anything.
This is a lot better than Blair Witch on that.
Yeah, but Blair
There's
Witch,
a lot of
at least Blair
just
Witch,
on the tripod. If anything, the camera just sits there. And
I know,
doesn't
but
do
that's
anything.
what's scary about it. So, but Blair Witch was more like hey, what's going to go on? This is like an adventure. What's going on? I thought it was real stuff when I was watching. I honestly thought it was real stuff when I was watching. Okay, anyways, but watching this, there was for me, there was way too many jumps. I had a very hard time watching this movie. I had a very hard time watching it. I mean, an hour and 26 minutes seemed like forever in this movie for me. So I started watching this, and I had Tango with me, and I'm watching this, and I'm just hanging out, and it's just like, all right, I'm like, this isn't gonna be so bad. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Blair Witch was 1999. Thank you, chat.
Thank you. Okay, and Blair Witch was solid but that last scene in Blair Witch when they're all in the basement and they're looking in the corners, that just freaked me out. Why is that a spoiler? You don't know that they die. You just know that they're looking in the corners. You don't know what happens because it goes to black.
Yeah, you do not understand spoilers now.
But it's 1999. It's almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that wasn't a spoiler, folks. So watch Blair Witch.
It really was.
So, but then you're watching this and you're seeing, and every time you watch the camera and you're watching it through black and white, and you get that jump, and then people are getting possessed and killing people and puking and all this sort of. I had a very hard time watching this. I took a couple days to watch it, and then I watched it a couple days in a row, like.
And then you cried.
Part, and I'm like, shoot, I had a hard time sleeping, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch the whole thing from beginning to end, and even though I knew this stuff was coming, kinda, it still freaked me out, and I'll be honest with you.
Now you notice that they do a rumble every time just before the entity.
You don't think that's scary? That's scary.
Right, but they're telling you it's here.
It doesn't tell you. You think it tells you, but it doesn't tell you until it tells you. And when it happens, you're still like, oh my God. Tim.
Oh my God.
Tim. Tim, all right, I didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days on this.
Oh, cool.
I'll be honest with you. There's no more Paranormal 2, 3, 17, 18, 19. However many there are, I don't want this anymore. I don't want no demon crap. I told you.
You are constantly telling me what not to
No, but this is so bad. Award 3 wins, 12 nominations. For what? For sucking? This movie was awful. I mean, how hard is it? You know, I could go get a video camera. I could videotape my bedroom at night. Nothing's going to happen in there.
Jeff, I will guarantee you right now, if we gave you a video camera and you made a movie, that it would not make nearly the amount of money this thing did.
I know, but
it is unbelievable the success of this film.
That's because it's crazy that you're watching actual spirits and that doing this. It's just like, I don't want to see ghosts in that. I don't want to see
Hold on, Jeff. You're aware this is make-believe, right?
No, they videotaped this. This was a guy doing a videotape.
No. This is a fiction story.
Well, then how did they do all that stuff with the door and all that?
Special effects.
Why would you make a movie like this?
To scare people like
you. Okay, it scared the crap out of me. And then why would you make
it's
more
very
of them?
effective at that. So, I watched this very late because I was like, I remember.
Why would
this
you do
movie.
that? Why would you do that? Why
No,
would you
but
watch this late at night?
I was kind of putting it off because I'm like, I remember this movie being kind of slow. I was thinking of Paranormal Activity 2, which really is very slow.
Well, I don't want
this movie, I think, moves pretty quickly through from becoming a little disturbance to a real big, yucky disturbance. And I did not realize how much I enjoyed this film again.
So are you
until
telling
I
me?
rewatched it.
Are you telling me that those are actors and that wasn't real people?
I am telling you, those are actors. They're not. Well, they are real people, but they're playing a part.
So if I went home and I was videoing all this stuff, would I be considered an actor or would I be considered a real person?
If you're videoing some stuff, you're probably going to be put up on charges for doing bad things.
Stop. Don't even bring up stupid stuff like that. This was very scary. I honest to God, I thought these were real people and this was a real documentary of their house with this stuff. Because look at these people. They don't have any like...
Jeff, let me assure you, this is all make-believe.
Oh my God. Really?
Yes.
This was training.
All make-believe.
Okay, so I told you this when I was watching this. You saw my chat while I was doing this.
Yes, you were freaking out. Yes. It was most entertaining.
And the other thing is that I also told you...
I did share it, by the way, to everybody I know.
You did not. So before this, anybody who's...
Help, I'm scared.
I never said that once. But listen to this, folks. So if you've been following us through all 9 seasons, what is the worst movie I ever watched? The Conjuring. What was the second worst? The Collector. Those are the only ones I actually remember the names of the movies because they were like they've hurt.
They traumatized.
Yes. This takes the cake.
Really?
This takes the cake. The Conjuring is child's play now compared to that. The Collector.
Oh, good. I can get you to Conjuring too.
No. I didn't say that.
That is what.
But
you
I'm just
said.
saying this is top of the list. This is Mount Everest. This is on the top now because this was wicked, man. It took me 3 days to watch this, and then I tried to watch it again, and it still scared the crap out of me. This was wicked. This was bad because I thought it was real people. I thought this was a real life story that
makes it even more delicious that you thought that.
Oh man. Okay, so anyway, so let's see here. So if I didn't tell you,
I cannot believe that you thought this was real. When you saw Blair Witch Project, you were like, "Oh my God, this actually happened."
I did, and then I heard that it didn't, and then I'm like, "Okay, I get it." I never heard anything about this. I'm not. Okay, so here's another thing, Tim. You know this. When I watch movies, I don't look up anything about it beforehand. I just watch them.
I know that.
Blair Witch, we didn't do this stuff before. Blind. I watched Blair Witch. I had a girl over. We watched the movie, and that was bad for me because I was scared. And we watched the movie, and then I'm like, oh my God. So then, you hear about it later on, like, oh, it wasn't really real and all. I'm like, oh, now I get it. But before I knew it wasn't real, the kid in the basement, are you kidding me?
Hold on. So let's get back to Paranormal Activity. So you're watching this whole movie, and you're like, this all really happened.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Why wouldn't it? And why would they lie to me about that? It was all on his video camera. Wow. Tim, it was all on his video camera.
Wow, you got me. You got me. I'm
being 100% honest with you.
I'm surprised.
Tim, at what point do you think it's not real?
Pretty well.
Tim, it's all first on a video
of all,
camera.
She can't pronounce her boyfriend's name. It's clearly Micah, and she keeps saying Mika.
Maybe that's what he calls him.
And that is his real first name.
I know her first name is Katie too.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I didn't look at this and go, it's got to be real. I mean, Amber, they're all their names. I mean,
well, no, they aren't. You look. There was
but I didn't look that far down. I looked that far down. Right?
Oh yeah, that's too much work.
But Tim, the way that so I guess the way that they presented this was really good. I mean, if you're
yeah, I mean if you don't know, you don't know.
It drained me. Yeah. It drained. So there's only been a few movies that's really drained me. Seven drained me. I left the movie theater after I watched Seven. Completely 100% drained. I had to lay down. You know which movie that is?
What?
Seven. The movie Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I left the movie theater at budget. I left 100% drained. We were going to go out and party that night, go downtown. I'm like, I'm going home. I couldn't.
I don't think I gave you Seven on this show.
You didn't. I watched it when I was younger at budget.
Yeah, I might have you read.
And here's this one. In this one, I felt completely drained. Although I wasn't drained enough to fall asleep, I couldn't sleep for a couple days.
Oh my God.
So I guess you want a rating, right?
Well, first we have to go to our buddy.
Dude, need fundage, bro.
Pauly Shore connection.
Well, was he behind the door? I guess.
Okay.
How do you connect him up with these real people?
they're actors. Katie Featherston was in this movie Psychic Experiment, and there's a guy named Glenn Morshower that was in that movie with her, who also was in the Army Now with Pauly Shore.
I saw that movie.
Yeah, and Glenn Morshower has been in like a million movies. He's always got kind of this authoritarian government official type look to him. So that's what he does. I am just shocked.
Why can't Pauly Shore have made a horror movie?
Pauly Shore did make a horror movie, and it may be assigned to you next season.
I need to laugh when I'm watching horror. This was bad. This was bad. I mean,
Pauly Shore is known to not make people laugh.
I mean, look at this stuff. Look at this. That you can't tell me. Oh my god.
Now, Jeff, you also realize that everybody at home doesn't see what you're looking at, right? Because you're
go to IMDb, people, and check it out because it's wicked. It's wicked.
Okay.
I'm sure they watched the movie. I'm sure they saw it. And I'm sure they think that I'm a big wuss for not. But
we've all thought that for years.
But Tim,
what is your movie?
Tim, you give Tim, you give me these little Monster Mash, and all of a sudden you hit me with this like cross the. This is like a right hook from Muhammad Ali. Like knock me into next week, man.
All right, what's your score on this? I'll help you out.
2.
No?
I'm gonna get it 10. I'll give it a 2.
Okay.
Because
it was too scary and it seemed real.
I'm giving it a 2 because it seemed real, and they should get some props for that. But as far as a movie that I would recommend for someone new seeing horror movies, no.
Okay. That's fair.
That's how I go into these movies. I go in when I want to give somebody this movie to watch. No,
yeah,
I would never be.
I get it.
I would never be that mean.
Oh,
to do that.
I'm extremely mean. There's no question about it. You know what's even more mean?
Trivia.
That's right. We're going to Trivial Perception over here. It's time for trivia. Here's how it goes, everybody. Here's what we do. Jeff is going to read 3 statements. You remember to do this.
One has to be false. Is that what it is?
One is false. 2 are true.
Got it.
And the other person has to figure out which one is false.
Correct.
Okay, are you reading first or am I?
I can read first.
Go ahead.
Don't look in the chat.
Making it small. Here we go.
That's what she said. Okay, anyways. DW, Denzel Washington, played football at Texas Tech for only 1 year. Ryan Horst, who played Jerry Barrera.
Cripple Boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
His dad in real life played Deputy Cletus Hogg on The Dukes of Hazzard. And then finally, Wood Harris, who plays the black guy, has also starred in Above the Rim. He narrated. He narrated a 30 for 30 for ESPN about Chicago's basketball player Ben Wilson.
All right, I'm going to make this easy. I do not for a minute believe that Cletus is involved with any of the actors in this movie, and I know you love Dukes of Hazzard, so that sounds made up.
Bum, 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 bum. That was actually right.
That's true?
Yep.
Oh my God.
His real life dad played Deputy Cletus Hogg on The Dukes of Hazzard.
Wow.
Denzel Washington never played football.
Yeah, but he has the build.
I know.
That he could have been a linebacker.
You know what? I had to do it. Tim.
Okay, Jeff, here we go. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's go. I'm over here looking this way.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Okay, Oren Peli, who's the director of Paranormal Activity, has gone on to direct many horror films, including the original Insidious. Number 2, a co-producer on this film has 2 Oscar nominations. Number 3, Mika Sloat has not had a role, even a small one, in a feature film outside of Paranormal Activity films.
Here's how this one shakes out.
Okay, here we go.
The Mika one's going to be true.
Keep in mind we're late, so.
That's what she said. Anyways, could you please repeat 1 and 2 again? Because 3 I know is correct.
This is all. I don't know why I read them once. Oren Peli, the director of this film, has gone on to direct many horror films, including the original Insidious.
So he directed it. Okay.
He directed it. And a co-producer of this film has 2 Oscar nominations.
What's his name?
No. You heard the thing.
The thing. So
Not that would even help you.
this is how this shakes out.
Here we
So
go.
number 2 is he won't give me the name, and it's just like, oh, nominated, big deal. I could be nominated for an Academy Award. So nomination.
I don't think so.
Nomination isn't a big deal.
Not
so,
with what I see.
so the nomination.
That requires some talent.
Did you know I was going to submit a film for this year's Horror Realm?
I mean, you don't even remember to write the opening to the
I
show.
know. I can't believe I did that. All right. So Micah's going to be true. The one about the 2.
2 Oscar noms.
Yeah, that's so easy to do. So that's probably true. So I'm thinking that Insidious is a big movie because I remember hearing about it, but I never would have seen it. But it sounds like it's something kind of like this. So he could have. Maybe that's like his wheelhouse that he does these kind of movies.
13 years later. We get the
So,
answer out of Joe.
Micah, you said he never did another major movie, huh?
Mika.
He would never did another major. He could have done like small movies, like Man versus Woman.
He didn't even have a small role in a feature.
I did not look this stuff up. I have
didn't
no
look
idea.
at shorts.
Why? What kind of shorts did he have on?
Short
anyway.
films.
All right, so I'm gonna go with. Just repeat the second one more time.
Okay.
The wording.
A co-producer on this film has 2 Oscar nominations.
Co-producer. That could be anybody. Okay, I'm gonna go with my original gut response. Is that number 1 is the false one about Insidious? That's the false one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. That's how you
That
figure
is
this stuff out.
correct.
That's
That
how
is
you get
correct.
through your ACT, kids.
So that is not how you do the ACT. You should actually study, children. A co-producer on this film was by the name of Jason Blum.
Oh yeah, he's got
who started Blumhouse.
Yeah.
He has had Oscar nominations for Get Out, which is a horror film,
I saw that movie.
and Whiplash, which is not. But I think Whiplash, pound for pound, is the most intense film I've ever watched.
I don't want that time.
You're not going to. It's not a horror film.
Oh, what's it about?
Drumming.
Droning?
Drumming.
Who wants to watch that?
It's intense.
Is Ringo Starr?
Now, did you even know? I need to know this for my own personal. Do you know how much money the movie was made for?
Wait, what? Paranormal?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess. I don't know because I didn't. Once
Okay.
I watched this movie, I didn't like dig deep into it.
Which is why you didn't know it was a fiction story, which still blows me away.
I'm gonna say they did.
I should get a point for that. but
Nope. So, anyways, here's the thing. So if I'm thinking about this the way
I'm
I,
not gonna weasel and ask for one like somebody I know.
this is how you figure this stuff out. They
Okay.
did it all on a camcorder, so that doesn't cost a whole lot of money. They did people that weren't big names like Kurt Russell and stuff like that, so that's not gonna be a lot of money. So, and it looks like they probably did it over like a weekend. So I'm gonna say they did this whole thing. They produced it. Wait, you wanna know how much they made it for?
I've been waiting for an answer
Wait, do you
for
want-
like 30 minutes.
No, what did
so
you ask
far.
me? How much they made it for, or how much they made?
How much money it was made for?
$43,000.
15.
Oh, I was gonna say 16. Shit, I was close.
So
Ooh, let's look at that score.
it is time to look at those scores.
Yeah.
So here we go.
16,000. So who got the money?
So you are well ahead at this point.
Oof.
Yeah, it's almost getting to be mathematically impossible to catch
It
up.
is. It's mathematically impossible.
So
No, not with the movie I gave you
But-
next week. Oh my God.
what did you give me? Well, we're going to do that
A
next.
Viking movie.
So we'll get there in just a second. In fact, that's next here on the show. What's coming on for the next inning? The next inning, ladies and gentlemen, will be coming April 3rd.
Breaking away.
And you gave me Breaking Away for reasons that are ponderous to me. I know I like biking, but
That's why I
I
did it.
actually have a hatred for bike culture. So
Great.
that's not going to go well for you. I'm suspecting,
You don't
but
know
maybe
that.
I'll enjoy it. You don't know.
Have you ever seen this?
Breaking Away.
Yeah.
I think I watched it on television when I was a kid because I think it came out like in the late 70s,
It did.
early 80s. So I think I saw it, and I remember being bored by it.
This is uncut. You're gonna get some swears in this.
Oh my. So exciting. I, on the other hand, gave Jeff the Laugh Riot and Fun film Arachnophobia, which will have you crawling the walls.
I have no problem with spiders.
Oh,
But you know what? I've never seen this movie, so I'm kind of glad. I've always wanted to watch it.
Okay.
Because this has got, I think, Jeff Daniels in it. Or Tom
It
Hanks.
has Jeff Daniels in it, and John Goodman is in there as well.
What's the one that has Tom Hanks in it that looks like this? Burbs?
What? The Burbs
Yeah,
is a Tom Hanks movie, but it's got nothing to do with
But if you look at the box for it, it
Okay.
looks the same as this one.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay.
All right. And let's take a look what is going to be on next week here on
Us, right?
Otherworldly Culture. It is going to be Dead on Movie Reviews on the 20th. Yep, that's next week, Thursday, with Tracy DeLeon, Michael Cieslik, Mike Exler, and America's Sweetheart, Tim Crutchman.
Sounds good. It sounds like it might be a lot
He
of
is
fun.
a stud, that guy. I've been looking into it.
Uh-huh.
I believe we did do a review of Alien Romulus, which I watched just recently.
Okay.
So I have not figured out which horror movie I'm going to be watching.
Can I pick one for you?
No. You're going to pick garbage. I'm not going to watch garbage. It'll be something like Zombievers or
No.
some nonsense like that.
No, how about...
I'm probably going to watch The Woman, which is supposed to be a scary film.
It's not that good.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It kind of is boring.
You know, I'm going to give you a horror movie called Hundreds of Beavers. We'll see how that goes for you.
Why don't you watch The Menu? We saw that together. You could do The Menu.
That was a good movie. I'm not going to rip on it, but I'm not going to be watching it
See?
again.
I know my movies.
I'm not going to be watching
I know my
it again.
movies.
I did my time with that. So next time, again, is going to be Breaking Away Badness. And it's going to be the wonderfulness of arachnophobia here on
DOTB.
On Dead on the Bases. And
Look at this.
what?
Traxdor. Arachnophobia is fictional, so he's already got me
Okay,
covered.
that's good that
Thank you.
somebody told him because he'd get confused.
But you can tell if it's like real movie cameras, so I would have been fine. I would have figured it out.
You would have, huh?
Yep.
I don't know. All right, so want to remind everybody it's time to close the crypt and call the game. Thank you all for watching. And remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, YouTube, and other fine places that you find podcasts. Remember, if it's sports, it's a home run. If it's horror, run home! We're Dead on the Bases, and we'll see you next time.
Otherworldlyculture.com.
The count? There are three strikes.
Oh man.
That is one movie that scared the Jeffy because he didn't know it wasn't real.
That was tough, man.
It was tough to listen to that realization.
That was tough, Tim. I'm telling you, man.
All right, good night, everybody.
I'm never setting up a camera in my house again.
Why have you got a camera in your bedroom?
I don't. I said it in my house.
What the hell?
I said it in my house.